Got me pissed, turn a humble man to a villain with a plot twist. That's the way the cookie crumble. So bring the trouble, I'm crushing everyone in the rumble. Dead body in the rubble. That's my hustle. Hitman for hire, the flow never expire. Dirty money with the empire. I'm styling on the mic.
Please welcome again MC Wicks. Infinite Power's out now, and we're here to talk about the album and what he's been up to. It's been a little while since we last talked, but welcome back, bro.
Oh yeah, thank you for having me, man. That was last time that was one of my favorite interviews, so it's good to be back. You already know.
Yeah, that's you one of my favorite guests, so it works out, and one of my favorite artists.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it for real.
Yeah, I've had your album on repeat as well. I'm absolutely loving it.
I'm proud of this album right here, man. I feel like I've been rapping for like 16 years now, and they say it takes 10,000 hours to master, 10 years to master. And over the years, I've came up with many different styles, and some of them were mastered and some of them were underdeveloped. But with this album, I feel like finally all of the styles that I've played with over the years, they're all mastered. So this album to me, Infinite Power, is true mastery, and it's well balanced. If you like me from the early years or the late years or the middle years, whatever era or phase that you came across my music or art, all of it is in here and it's at its highest level. Infinite Power, man, for real. I'm real proud of it.
Yeah, you should be Infinite Power. What a great name too. I loved your other albums, but I feel like this one, like you just said, I feel like it's all come together, and this I think this is your best work.
Yeah, I think so too, man. I really want the people to digest it, man. I want them to hear it. I'm trying to get it to as many ears as possible because I feel like it is one of my best bodies of work for sure, without a doubt.
Yeah, we'll dive into it. I want to start with the artwork too. That's so cool. Who came up with
Yeah.
that?
Shout out to the homie Intangible, my boy Will, out of Fresno, California. He's a design artist. Super dope, super talented. He shows love to all the local artists on the scene, and he's done a lot of things just, for the love, for the community. So I was like, if anyone deserves to get paid, it's that guy. So I paid him for the artwork. And the artwork actually, it's all symbolism for me. Like when I think of power, I think of Robert Greene. I think of the 48 Laws of Power. I know we talked about that last time, but that book, I put the laws in practice in real life and they really do work in real time. Like immediately, there's a lot of books that are like, they're just selling you a lot of common sense with big words. They're making common sense sound luxurious, but 48 Laws of Power, that's true knowledge, man. That's true power. So the color scheme is, a tribute to the 48 Laws of Power. And the image you see right there, that's my dad. That's the second person I think of when I think of power because my dad was a Yaqui. He had a lot of respect in his community. He was somewhat of a shaman. He was a teacher. He was spiritual. He was a slick talker. He was somewhat comedic. And the older I get, the more I realize that I'm just like him. You know what I mean? All of my personalities, all of my character traits, and he taught me a lot of valuable lessons. Like he gave me like 40 years of knowledge in like 10 years. RIP to my pops, man. Frank Alvarez, Yaqui. He's from the Yaqui tribe, man. But yeah, I had to throw him on there, man. I had a tribute to him. The last song on the album is Flowers. It's about giving people their flowers while they're here, appreciating them while they're here, because you don't want to wait till it's too late, man. Give the flowers now. So I wrote that for him, but also all of my loved ones. But that's the symbolism right there, man.
Yeah, incredible. I love how you do that with the song Flowers, and you can tell when you talk about your dad, your face changes and lights up. It's incredible. That's beautiful that you done that, man. That's cool.
Yeah, man, I had to do it, man. I had to do it because he left a big impact on a lot of people's lives and shit, man.
Yeah.
Even the natives at his funeral, the natives from Arizona, that's where our reservation is, Arizona and Sonora, Mexico. Those are the two. We're originally from Sonora, but there was like some kind of war and they had to migrate to Arizona. So that's the second reservation.
Yeah.
That's where my dad kind of grew up. But the Arizona natives, they kind of have this thing where they have less respect for the California natives. They consider them like not as authentic. And at his funeral, a lot of high ranking natives from Arizona, from like the government side of the reservation, they came through. So I know he's did a lot of things. He's did a lot of ceremonies and practices and teachings and lessons and shamanism to a lot of people over the years. Like when I was growing up, we used to go to sweat lodges. We used to go to these sweat lodges, man, and it was hot in there, dude. It was like 110 degrees. People would like hallucinate. They would throw up. They would see visions, but it was just a cleansing. And if you made it through all of the rounds, because they had a few rounds, I think it was like 3, 4, 5 rounds. It was like a badge of honor because you had heart to make it through that heat, to make it through that storm. But yeah, they used to pour hot water on these stones, and I grew up around all of that stuff, and I wish I would have held on to more of that knowledge. Like when my dad left when I was younger, I kind of held like a little grudge for a while, and I kind of forced myself to erase all of the lessons and knowledge that he gave us. But he talked so much and taught so many days that I could never erase all of it. So I'm happy that I was able to keep some of it, but I wish I could have kept more. But yeah, shout out to my pops, Frank Alvarez.
Definitely. Shout out to Frank Alvarez. I'm glad you're still keeping some of that knowledge alive though. That's incredible. That's important. I think I'd be so proud of you, man.
Yeah, culture, man. I gotta retap back in, man. I gotta go back. I gotta revisit and relive and relearn all of these things I forgot. I don't really speak Spanish that well, but I want to learn how to speak it as fluently as I can because I want to go to Sonora, Mexico, the original reservation, because all of our wisdom and all of our knowledge is sacred. They don't make documentaries, they don't write books, they don't talk to the media. They believe in just keeping it with the people, and that's it. Like this stays with us, and it's all through storytelling. It's all verbal. That's the way they teach. They talk stories, metaphors, double entendres. Like, so it makes sense that I am a communicator. I am a writer. I'm an MC. That's kind of in my DNA. You know what I mean? I call it
Definitely.
oral teachings. That's how it is. It's all through word of mouth. That's how they learn and teach, and they keep it in there. So if I want the true knowledge, I got to learn Spanish and I got to go there.
Yeah,
There's no other way I could obtain it. I have to go to the birthplace and talk to the people face to face.
definitely. Man, that'd be awesome as well. You got to do it. And speaking
But
of,
yeah,
we're going back to the 48 laws of power. Yeah, you talked about that last time. Has any more books like that popped up that have had an impact on you since we last spoke?
I was actually watching a clip on TikTok and it was Robert Greene talking. And it's crazy that I'm a Yaqui. I got Yaqui in my blood, but Robert Greene said that a book that inspired a lot of the lessons and a lot of the laws and 48 laws of power is called The Teachings of Don Juan. And that Don Juan in the book is a Yaqui native shaman. So I listened to that book, and that book brought back a lot of memories. The thing that's crazy, I think the writer's name is Carlos Castro, or Castan. I can't pronounce his last name, but Carlos something. But that book is so vivid and so detailed and so descriptive, and a lot of like powerful knowledge in there. And he claimed that it was real, but a lot of people are claiming that it was all fiction. It was all made up. That this writer just read a bunch of religions and a bunch of different books and cultures, and he kind of cherry picked all of his favorite things of world knowledge, world spirituality, and then he put it all into this fictional character, Don Juan, that's a Yaqui native. But it's a mysterious controversy because some people believe that he's telling the truth, and some people believe that it's all made up. So, but nobody really knows. That's the
Oh,
controversy behind that book, the teachings of Don Juan. But me personally, I listened to the book and it brought back a lot of memories because the way the Don Juan character talks and speaks and his mannerisms, it kind of reminded me a lot of my father and all of the shamans that he would have around him. You know, all of his friends that were deep into the spirituality and culture.
mhm.
And I'm like, I don't know, this is too detailed, this is too vivid for me to believe it's fiction, but there is no concrete evidence, so you got to just go with like you either believe the author is telling the truth or you believe it's made up.
Yeah,
There's really no way to like debunk it, you know.
yeah,
But you guys
definitely.
should check that book out. That book is dope, man.
Man, I'll be checking that out now for sure. I always think of you too when I, hear 48 Laws of Power or just when we're talking about those books and Robert Greene. Every time he pops up, I always think of MC Wicks.
Yeah, man. That dude, he's the best, man.
Yeah,
It's gonna be like 100 years, 500 years before we come across someone else like that. Like
yeah,
that's like probably my favorite writer right now, like in life, in the world.
yeah.
Robert Greene.
He's incredible. I've definitely got a few of his books now. I noticed on your album too, you had the same producer for all the tracks as well.
Oh yeah, Borgner Park. Shout out to him, man. Amazing production.
Mhm.
This is our second full length album. He produced all of the beats on another album I had called Vivid Visions. But and I love that album too as well. But this one is just on a whole nother level. And people they like when we get together. We have a lot of natural chemistry. So hopefully we could just continue to just stack up records and just keep making album after album, you know. A lot
Yeah,
of producers make good beats, but someone could make a good beat, but you won't have chemistry with them. But with me and this producer, Borgner Park, we have chemistry, man. And I think that's what makes the best music, man. The chemistry has to be there.
definitely. You just hit it off on every song. It's incredible. I really love Shine Bright as well. Um,
Shine bright, man.
yeah,
That's crazy because I was debating on keeping that song. I was debating on whether I should take that song off the album or keep it on.
wow.
But I kept it on because the album is a lot of hard body shit. I am dropping a little bit of gems, a little bit of knowledge, but it's more like personality traits. All of my personality traits so happen to be my father's personality traits. But I had to have that deep gem, spiritual, philosophical record if I wasn't to put my dad on the cover and like make it somewhat of a tribute because that's what he was. He was like a philosopher. He was a deep thinker. He had a lot of abstract thoughts. He'll be talking and he'll just start coming out poetic.
Yeah,
And it's not written. He's just like kind of freestyling off of the head, but not rapping, just talking, you know? So I was like, if I'm gonna put my dad on the cover, I need that song on there for sure. Shine Bright. I'm glad you liked that one though. I thought that one was gonna be one a lot of people it might have been over their head or it might have been too heavy for them. I'm glad that you gravitated towards that.
yeah, I really did. I love every song on there, but that one, I love that one. Keep Building, Cosmos. It's Keep Building's another great one. I love the opening to it. That's cool.
The first line, huh? Fuck. I
Yeah.
walk in I walk in the room with my motherfucking
Motherfucking
nuts
nuts
dragging.
dragon. Yeah.
That's how you gotta do it. That's how you gotta walk.
I got my own style,
Yo,
call it outlandish.
yo. Yeah,
Mm.
man, it's crazy. I just shot a video for that in New York. My first time in New York. Shout out to Ill Enough. That's gonna be my next video coming out. Keep Building, produced by Borkner, and we shot it in New York. We shot it in Times Square. We shot a little bit in Queens. I went to the birthplace of hip hop, 1520 Segwick, and I actually went inside of the building and I shot inside of the home, the house of hip hop. I was like, I'm gonna shoot inside of here. So we got footage from the Bronx, Queens, and Times Square in there, man. And it's crazy. Like, I'm happy Ill Enough was there to film that and document that because going to New York has been a dream of mine for some years. I've actually like I write affirmations down, and I'm pretty sure I'm like 95% sure if I flip through the pages, me being in New York for music, it's gonna be on those pages. It was written, you know. It was written before it happened. It was stopped before it happened, and it's all manifested, man. But yeah, that's coming next. Keep building.
I love that, man. I seen you got a song with Afro as well. That was cool.
Shout out to Afro, man. He gave me a dope verse too, man. He did not hold back. He went crazy on there, next level, like really barring out. He's always with the double time, triple time, and he did that. Man, Ready for War, man. I think that's one of my favorite songs on the album. But yeah, Afro is a dope MC. If you don't know Afro, you need to listen to Afro, man. And we got another joint coming out pretty soon. He does these posse cuts where he gets underground MCs from all over the world. He'll get like 50, 40, 100 MCs and throw them on one record. But I'm going to be on posse cut number 3. It's dropping in December. Shout out to Afro, man. But yeah, Ready for War, man. We just had to come in and just body shit. Verbally militant. We had to do it like that. We had to be verbally militant on that record.
Yeah, you succeeded, man. Yeah, it was we're talking. You put me on the Afro last time. It's how I started following him. Was talking to you. You told me about him, and then yeah, I was like, man, he's awesome. And then that song was cool, man.
Yeah, man. Hopefully we keep working, man. He makes really good beats too, man. He's been wearing his producer hat a little bit more lately, and I like what he does.
Mm.
Shout out Afro.
Yeah, is there any more artists like you've seen lately who you like, man, I want to work with them, or it's anyone who you're really listening to a lot lately?
I mean, on some super duper underground level, because it's like a lot of the new stuff I do listen to is very underground. But shout out to my boy Moody. On Instagram, he's Moody909. That's one of my favorite artists out of Southern California, out of Ontario. Shout out to the neighborhood kids. They're out of San Diego. They remind me of like Rage Against the Machine. It's a duo, it's a couple. Man, they're so fucking dope, man. The neighborhood kids. Organized crime. There's another duo. They just dropped their first album and I'm on it. They're called Indigenous Cats. Shout out to my boy Complex and Anna. Their album is called Indigenous State of Mind. Check that out. But yeah, out of the new artists, like I'm listening to them heavy. XP the Marksman, Jay Worthy. Yeah, probably Jay Worthy, man. LaRusso a little bit and Jay Worthy. I think out of the new people that came out, Jay Worthy is really dope.
He's awesome. Yeah, I like Jay Worthy.
Yeah, he's doing it, man. He's raw.
Definitely. How long you been cooking this album up for? Because it's definitely your best work. Has this been one of your longest projects?
This one, it's been written for a minute, but I wrote it out. I wrote it pretty quick, actually. I wrote it maybe in like a 2 month span, but then I rehearsed it a lot before I recorded it because I was busy. I only record like one day out of the week, but I was busy with like being out of town or work, or my engineer was busy. So it was written for a long time, but the recording that was where it took a while to get it actually recorded. But that was a good thing because by the time I was in the booth, I knew it like the back of my hand. You know, I didn't really have to look at a piece of paper. Like I could just spit it out. It was rehearsed
Yep.
very well. But all in all, maybe like a 4 month process. And
Yep.
then we had to deal with the artwork and distribution and royalties and splits. But it took about 4 months.
That's pretty cool. And how do you work out, like the splits and all that? Do you just go to a lawyer or something? How does it all work? And then,
Oh yeah, I have agreements between me and the producers. We just talk about how we want our royalties to look like.
hmm,
But I've been trying to keep it fair, trying to keep it 50-50 for the most part.
yeah, man, that's pretty cool. Not many people would do that.
Not a lot, no, not nowadays. Shit, everyone's about the money. Everyone's about the dollar.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Well, I seen I noticed I bought your album. I bought it off Bandcamp. Normally I buy it off iTunes, but it looks like does Bandcamp is it better for the artist if you buy it through there?
Bandcamp is good because they give you the money immediately,
Yeah.
and it goes like directly to you. Like they do take a 15% percentage away from the sale, but the money goes straight to you when you buy from all those other platforms. That's good too, but they shoot you your money when you get to a certain amount of dollars or quarterly, depending on how you set it up.
Yeah.
But I just like Bandcamp because it's just direct. It's like right away, real quick, real simple.
Yeah.
You don't have to wait until the pay period, or you don't gotta wait till you sell like $100 or $200 worth of it. You just get it right away. That's why I like Bandcamp.
And I gotta ask you again, I know I asked you last time, but what advice do you have someone for someone who wants to make an album or make a song or do anything like writing?
You can't overthink. You know what I mean? If you everything under the sun has been said and done. So if you write maybe 4 bars and your mind kind of goes blank, you don't have to write the whole song in one sitting. You could come back the next day. And I feel like that's made a lot of my writings really good. Like I had to write like that when I first started working like 9 to 5s because I'll get out of work, I'll write maybe 4, 5, 6 bars, and then my mind will go blank. But I gotta wake up at 4 in the morning or 5 in the morning. But it ended up being better just writing like that in general. So, don't overwork your mind. You know what I mean? Don't get if you get a headache writing, then it's not gonna come out good. You don't want a headache when you're writing down your art or writing down your music. So, you could put it together like a puzzle. That's my advice as far as writing goes.
And
You don't
that,
have to be in a rush.
yeah, I love your style, obviously. So that's why I had to ask you your thoughts.
Yeah, man, it's been good, man. You pick up a lot of things, man, over the years for sure. But I think that's the one thing that helps me out the most is knowing that it doesn't all have to happen in this exact moment.
I wanted to ask you about also Black Book and Rhyme Books.
Shout out to Black Books and Rhyme Books. That's a graffiti based event, and it started out in Boyle Heights. Shout out to Beardo. He's the founder, he's the curator of it. And when I first started doing my shows in LA, I was doing them mostly for the Black Books and Rhyme Books. And it's one of my favorite events in all of California. Like, and I've been to all the big festivals, high production things. I've done sold out shows, but Black Books and Rhyme Books, I compare it to like I wasn't around in 1973 when they were doing the park jams, when they were doing it in the park, like community based, like pop up style. But I feel like it made me feel like that, like because we're outside, we're doing it outside, we're doing it like at warehouses or alleyways or storefronts because it's a graffiti based event. So we're literally outside, block party style, and You see turntables, you see mics, you see MCs. People are rapping, and behind them, people are just doing big giant pieces, big giant productions, and all the artists go there with their black books, and they sign each other's black books. They do sticker trades. It's kind of like the New York Writers Bench, but an event with music and live performances. So all the graffiti artists, all the legends, they come out to the events and they network, they communicate, they build. All the MCs as well. Like a lot of my favorite artists from LA, a lot of the artists I told you about right now, I met them and seen them all at Black Books and Rhyme Books. Beardo has a very good ear, man. Shout out to Black Books and Rhyme Books. Recently, they've been doing it in LA for 9 years now, but recently, about maybe 2, 3 years ago, they wanted to branch out. And once they said that, I took the opportunity among myself to say, let's bring it to Fresno. This is my favorite event. So we've been throwing them every year in Fresno for 3 years now. And since they branched out, we've been to Fresno. We've been to Utah. We just went to Harlem, New York. We're going to San Diego. We got a date in the Bay. So they're about to be on their 10th year. And out of nowhere, now it's starting to become like we want to get to another country. We're trying to make it an international movement, you know what I mean? Worldwide movement. But we'll get there all in due time. Before I move on, I just kind of want to shout them out again. But Black Books and Rhyme Books will be having their own area at the biggest festival in California this year. The biggest festival is called Rhyme Fest. Living Legends is on it. Dilated Peoples is on it. Oh man, who else is on there? Atmosphere's headlining. Project Gloat is on there. Freestyle Fellowship, Reverie, Blue and Exile. I know Funk Dubious is on there. I know there's some other crazy names on there, man. But look up Rhymefest LA. Black Books and Rhyme Books will be out there with their own booth with the Black Books. So you guys they'll have merchandise out there. They'll have their writer's bench out there. And, say hello. If you're at Rhymefest, August 17th, stop by, say what's up, tap in, Black Books, Rhyme Books.
Definitely. Man, what a cool movement and event too. That'd be awesome. Definitely got to take it to other countries, man.
Yeah, man, out there, to me, that's the real street. That's the real authentic. That's really like humble beginnings, the real people, the rawness of LA underground right now is Black Books and Rhyme Books. And I brought it to Fresno. Every city, it's the same event, but they all have their own uniqueness, their own thing that makes it special to them in their area. And they're all amazing, but to get like the true, authentic, the best representation of it, you have to see it in Boyle Heights, man. Black Books and Rhyme Books.
Wow. That'd be awesome to go.
That makes it good and unique, but there's nothing like seeing it out there, man, where it's from. It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be incredible to visit one day and head to one of those events.
Yeah, man. If you're in LA and that's going on and you don't go to it, you kind of fucked up, man. You want the true LA underground, true LA hip hop experience, Black Books and Rhyme Books is the event.
Right.
For sure. There's a lot of great events, a lot of great promoters, but there's only one event that's doing it like how they're doing it, and it's Black Books and Rhyme Books. Straight up.
Yeah, that's awesome. You shout them out too, and I'll tag them as well. That's
Yeah,
really cool. What's the next 12 months got in store for MC Wicks?
I got some more music. I plan on dropping a lot of music, man. I'm gonna do a few collaborative albums with some MCs. I don't want to throw everything out there right now, but I got a few of those in mind. My next full length album is already written. I just got to get to recording it, and I just plan on flooding the game, man. Every few years, it's flood season, and it's that time right now. It's flood season. Like around 2017 to maybe like 19. If you look at my timeline right there, I was dropping like 2 to 3 albums a year, and I think I got to get back to that. I think I'm gonna do that maybe for 2 years, man. Flood the game real quick.
Definitely. It's what the people need. More MC
Yeah,
Wicks.
man. When you're on fire, you know what I mean? You might as well utilize it. When the pin is on fire,
Yeah.
you know, the inspiration is there. Why not strike while the iron is hot? The iron is very hot right now. So the music is gonna be high quality, man. I can't wait for you guys to hear everything.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear more. It's awesome. I love this. At the moment, yeah, infinite power is so cool. And what's your message to the world?
Man, my message to the world is don't let don't let the ugly side of human nature change you. You know what I mean? Like reading that Robert Greene 48 Laws of Power and looking into psychology, the more you look into it, you realize that we're emotional, self-centered creatures. That's why people are kind of like messed up to each other and fucked up. But and we're unaware of it subconsciously. That's kind of just how we're made as human beings. But to be aware of it and kind of take accountability and check yourself, and then when you see people being ugly, you just got to realize, oh, they're not aware. They don't understand the knowledge behind what they're doing, the psychology that they don't know the science behind their actions. So don't let an ugly world turn you ugly. You know, that's my message to the world. You know, stay who you are, stay solid, stay grounded, stay unbreakable. Don't let the world break you. Don't let the world tear you apart because it will. I want to be the old happy. When I'm an old person, I want to be the old happy motherfucker. I don't want to be the old grumpy person yelling at the kids, turning the sprinklers on. I want to be the old laid back cool motherfucker. You know what I mean? So you just got to be aware of human nature and don't let it break you.
Definitely.
Most people don't even know better. Most people don't even realize what they're doing. You know,
Yeah.
they didn't take the time to do the knowledge. They don't know what's going on.
That's pretty cool, man. That's a good way of looking at it. And not deliberately doing it. Just don't even
We're
know.
all gonna do it. We're all gonna do it from time to time because we're just flawed,
Yeah.
and it is in our subconscious. It's in our DNA. That's just how you humans are. You know.
Yeah.
But just try not to do it. You know what I mean? From time to time, you'll slip up, and that human nature will get the best of you. But try to maintain as much as possible to just be a more positive person, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. What's have you seen any good movies lately that inspire that you like?
Man, some good movies, man. Lately, I don't know, man. I like to watch a lot of old school stuff, man.
Yeah.
There hasn't been a lot of new ones that I've liked, honestly. There hasn't been a lot of new ones that I've liked. I was watching too many movies, so much that like I almost forget. You watch like 7 movies back to back,
Yeah.
and then you start forgetting some of them. But there's one called The Zookeeper, or what was that? Crypto Zoo. That's a crazy ass animation, man. Watch that shit.
Yeah, I'll have to check
Crypto
that out.
Zoo. Look it up. It's on Hulu right now. I watched that movie. I was a little high when I watched it, and the colors and all the shit, the animation and the storyline was pretty crazy. Crypto Zoo, that's a good one.
Crypto Zoo.
The artwork alone is worth the watch for the artwork alone.
Yeah.
The artwork in it is animated. The artwork is amazing. Crypto Zoo, check that.
Yeah, definitely. What's been your highlight of the year?
Going to New York, man, for sure. Going to New York. I just got back, but I've always wanted to go to the birthplace, 1520 Segwick. Shout out to Kool Herc and all the pioneers that made that happen. If you look at the official flyer for the birthday of hip hop, just written on a piece of paper. It's a girl's birthday. I think her name might be Sammy. Don't quote me. I might be wrong. But the original hip hop show that's documented was a birthday party written on a paper, August 11th, 1973. And on the paper, it says rec room. That's where they did it, in this project building in the rec room. And I actually went inside the building and I was walking and I looked and it said the rec room and it had like an arrow. And I walked into the rec room, and when I walked into the rec room, I got goosebumps, dude. I got the chills. I was like, damn, I'm literally in the first room.
Yeah.
Not in front of the building, not on the side of the building, not outside. I'm right here, standing where the first hip hop event took place. And the crazy thing about it was the room probably could only fit like probably 30, maybe 50 people maximum. It was a small room. And I'm like, this is what hip hop's about. You know what I mean? It's been mainstream, it's been around the world, but it ain't about fame, popularity, money. It's just about community and being dope and being raw and being ill. You don't need a million people for it to be hip hop. Yeah, it could be hip hop in front of 20. All you need is the skills, the talent, the passion. You don't need $1 million to be hip hop. You don't need to be around the world to be hip hop. You know what I mean? You just stay true to it, stay pure to it, man. That's what it is. But yeah, that was my highlight, man. My first show I went to was KRS-One and Planet Asia at Fresno State. I talked about that with you last time. And ever since that show, it's been a mission to go to the South Bronx, mainly because of KRS and the bridge is over, the whole beef with MC Shan and I was like, I need to go there. I got to see it for myself. And I finally did, man. So yeah, that's the highlight of the year right there, man.
Last question: is there anything that you wish I had covered today?
Right now, just check the album out on all streaming platforms, Infinite Power. I'm doing the album release party tomorrow, and I want to shout out the venue. The venue is called Ben Smoke and Barbecue. Shout out to the pitmaster, Ben. And he's actually making an MC Wicks burger. It's called the Wick. It's the Wick burger, man. And I'm a foodie. I started my food journey off actually with hamburgers in Fresno. I used to live down the street from a burger spot called Belmont Burger. I'm from the east side, Belmont and Cedar area. So that was like across the street from me. And I used to eat that and I'd be like, man, this is the best burger in Fresno. And then once in a while, someone would be like, is it really though? And I asked myself, is it really though? And after that day, I ate every single hamburger in Fresno. Every restaurant, every burger spot I went to, I ate them, I checked them out, I ranked them, and Bama Burger, it's really good. It's one of the top ones. It is not the best one, but it started my journey off, and I love burgers. And to have an MC Wicks burger in my hometown, man, it's I've always wanted one, and it's finally happening. You know, so shout out to Ben Smoke and Barbecue, the Wick burger, Wick approved. I don't want to give away too much. Tomorrow's the reveal of the burger at the Infinite Power release party, 7 p.m. Come through and get that. And we collaborated, man. I threw my ideas as far as combinations on the burger, and I picked the cheese. And the chef came up with a few ideas, and we put our minds together, and we made something very good, very gourmet, man. Wick burger, man. Get that. I've been smoking barbecue. But yeah, man, that's about it. Just keep looking out for Black Books and Rhyme Books. Get that burger, stream the album, and follow me on Instagram. Follow me on all platforms, and pay attention because I got a lot coming your way, man. That's what it is.
Definitely appreciate you, man. It's been awesome again. I'll get this out.
Appreciate you, man. You already know.
Thanks, man. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. MC Wicks, legend. Wiki Smalls, I heard that on the album. That was cool. But
Yeah,
infinite
Wiki
power out
Small.
now.
Man, I had a Biggie is like a fat superhero, you know, like
Yeah.
he's one of the coolest, he's one of the flyest, he was banging Faith Evans, like he's raw. You know, recently I listened to Biggie again. That was like an artist I listened to a lot when I started writing, I started rapping. And I haven't listened to him for a while, and I listened again and I was like, damn, this whole song is a quotable. Like literally bar after bar, line after line, beginning to end. Like I feel like he may have the most quotables in hip hop of all time.
Yeah.
Biggie Smalls, man. So once in a while, I try to embody that energy, and I got my Wiki Smalls persona, man.
Yeah, I love
R.I.P.
it.
Biggie, man. Peace to Biggie. You already know.
For sure. I love that, man. That's so cool. Yeah, I appreciate you. It's MC
Yeah.
Wicks on Thomas Berryman TV. And yeah, thanks for coming.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you for having me, man. Peace and love.
For
Peace
sure.
and love.
Peace and love, man.